Room Tone Podcast is a show produced by us, three movie nerds shooting the shit while talking about shooting the shit.
Each episode builds upon the last, so we recommend starting at the beginning.
Now, let's make a movie.
I have officially logged about 100 hours in Tears of the Kingdom.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It's a great time.
Yeah.
I just end up playing super late at night.
Yeah. Doesn't surprise me.
Like I think I would go to bed I would start at 9 o'clock and then I'll end at 1. And I'm like, yeah, that was great.
I feel so good right now.
I know it's kind of a free-form game.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say there's a lot of progression?
They essentially give you the tutorial, the basics of what you can do. And then they're like, go out and do it. Right. Go out and have fun. They'll give you objective points and everything. And you can follow that. Or if you wanted to, right after the tutorial, you can go fight the main boss and beat the game. It's definitely kind of whatever you want to do if you feel like you can do it.
Right.
And then it's just super open, super immersive, and there's just fun little things specifically in Tears of the Kingdom, they have been praised for their physics engine because it's just so intuitive and you're oh wow, I didn't think that would work, but it ended up working. Sure, that's nuts. I all the shrines and all of just everything. I guess it's based off what you can think of. They'll give you your elements and okay, if you think this is appropriate to use it here, do it. Whatever.
Right. And then it's you kind of are relying on that physics engine to make things that will work. That's fun. I like that.
The best way I can think of it is Breath of the Wild is the beta of what Tears of the Kingdom is. I feel because the Switch just came out when Breath of the Wild came out, and I feel this was they're let's experiment, let's see what we can get away with. And then Tears of the Kingdom was okay, now that we know, let's get wild with it. Let's let's get weird.
I like that. How sexy would a room tone Switch be?
That'd be pretty sexy.
It could be the middle screen could be a yellow, our yellow, and then each of the Joy-Cons could be black and white.
Ooh, yeah.
That'd be nice.
Tone on the back.
Yeah. All right, so fill out our petition to get...
You don't understand. People would love this.
Sponsored by Nintendo.
Come on, Nintendo. We're a major media platform.
Yeah, with a killer color scheme.
Yes. A black one would be sexy. I don't know why they won't make...
Don't they have a black one?
I guess a light. I mean...
Oh, a black light.
I like the lights because...
That's fair.
I like the more handheld-y.
That's valid.
feel.
I don't know, man. As of late, I feel I've been... really loving the convenience of docking on other people's docks with just my Switch.
Nice.
Whenever I go to Morgan's, I want to play my copy of Tears of the Kingdom. Okay, just let me dock it on her dock and boop, I'm playing it on my screen, on the big screen.
Or
totally. What's that? She wants to watch TV or play her own game. Put it on my console or whatever, just handheld. It's so sick. And also even too with battery dying or whatever. If I had it on handheld, the screen charges the controllers. So when I have it on handheld or whatever, it's low battery, it's talking about the screen. I pop the screen into the dock, which charges it. Take off the controllers. My controllers are fully charged.
Which are now charged, yeah.
That's and now it's back and forth, charging that, charging those, charging them.
It does feel like a very postmodern kind of gaming setup.
Yeah. It's the thing with me is that it's for people with friends, which I am not. You know what I mean? It's valid. For people who want to have everybody link up or be able to bring your thing over and everybody can all play on the one thing and yada yada yada, switching back and forth between everyone's different consoles and all of the joysticks and shit. And it's I'm going to be the only one playing this. I don't need to have it capable to do all this shit.
That does make sense. If you're going to be your sole console, you're going to be the solely one playing. I think it's also just nice to play on the big TV. From doing this to doing that, that's kind of nice.
That's fair. Yeah. There's something really charming to me about like playing Animal Crossing and Pokemon on like a handheld device though.
Yeah, I get that.
That's just very nostalgic feeling.
Gosh, and that's so nuts to think about. Like Nintendo used to have like the DS and the Game Boy going on with like their console, the Wii U, and now everything's like, well, let's stop that.
Yeah, we're just gonna do the Switch.
Yeah, totally.
Which I think is metal as fuck because like you're right.
Yeah,
like,
it's smart.
Like you're right because like a Lite is essentially like a Game Boy or like a DS.
Yeah, totally.
You know, and like the Switch is like the Wii or whatever in this like realm of like consoles.
Yeah. And I still use my DS.
Yeah. Dude, oh my God.
DSs are still like
Sick.
the best platform I've ever played on, I would say.
I was trying to think of, I used to play this game on the Wii U, which I fucking loved. I think it was called Nintendo Land.
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of like this big arcade, like you could just play like a shit ton of different mini games. I was trying to think of it. Do you know if they have that for the Switch?
Maybe. I know they remastered a lot of games. So like another cool thing about like the Switch is like they have like emulators. Yeah. And like you can play old NES games, you can play old Wii games for free. Like it's like a subscription base. But
okay, like it's actually run by Nintendo. It's not like you ask some
weirdo whatever
15-year-old in his basement to send you a .exe.
Which I think it's like the smartest thing to do because like if people are gonna obviously do it, like might as well like monetize it.
Capitalizing on it.
Regulate and capitalize. Totally.
Exactly. But yeah, they have like classic games like that. You said it was Nintendo Land?
Yeah, it is Nintendo Land.
The way you said it sounded like like old suburban dad. But like
you guys playing Nintendo Land? Yeah, dude, it's a great game.
Is that it?
And yes, totally. And yeah, it's kind of like Mario Party, where it's just like all mini games and stuff.
And what was the Wii U? I don't even know what a Wii U was.
It's actually very similar to the Switch.
Yeah,
because it's like the Wii.
Oh yeah, but it's a handheld.
But yeah, there's like one big handheld screen.
Yeah,
that is like separate from the console that plugs into the TV. So at least in Nintendo Land, I know a lot of the mini games were split between you'd have one person on the screen doing specific things, and then you'd have other people with controllers looking at the big screen who would be like against them. So like one of my favorite games it's called like Mario Run or something like that, where the person with the screen would be Mario and everyone else would have like the Wii controllers looking at the big screen, and you'd all be little toads, and you'd be running around trying to like find and catch Mario. It's like a big game of tag.
Oh, interesting.
I love that.
And so it's like the one person has their own screen and they get to like play hide and seek / tag, and everyone else, you know, is like has a split screen experience, and they're like trying to talk to each other. Oh, I think he's over there. I think I see him over there. And it's like that 2-screen experience is something that I feel like is very rarely accomplished in modern gaming.
I agree. Well, it's actually very interesting how much the Wii U failed.
Yeah,
that's fair. In consideration to like the Wii.
Yeah.
I guess it just didn't pick up, which is like weird because that sounds like a really fun time.
Yeah.
In fact, I think I even like played that game.
Are
we just going to keep talking about Nintendo?
No, let's talk about virtual reality.
Okay.
Another like in big air quotes 2-screen experience that I've been really interested to try is with virtual reality and like just someone on the PC. I've seen a few different games where you kind of have that, like one person is in VR and other people are just like PC gaming. And so I've seen ones where it's like the person with VR is like a giant and they're like being attacked by like the PC gamers who are like running around trying to like throw things at them. So the VR person literally will like reach down and grab people and like throw them off the map and things like that. Like, doesn't that just sound so fucking fun?
Oh my God, it does. Video games, I'm so happy to see the progression of like video games and like the, I guess like acceptance of them. I remember just everyone was like shitting on them for like no reason. Yeah. Like it's just a game. Like, right. Chill out, guys.
Yeah. Don't play it then.
But like now people are like, oh wait, we can capitalize off this.
Yeah.
And you know, like people are just having fun. They're just trying to enjoy their time.
And there's so many different versions of fun now.
Did you say virgins? You're right. There are a lot of virgins.
A lot of virgins of fun.
But none here. We all fuck.
We all have had our fun.
Yeah, we've all had our fun.
Yeah. Not all of us, but...
Yo. What do you think this was? Hey.
Oh, I was referring to Swain.
Hey.
And you.
Hey.
Says the virgin, dude.
Me?
Yeah, homie.
Are you crazy?
And pause for room tone. My name is Austin Swain. I'm an animator and video production specialist in commercial advertising. And today, to celebrate our final day of talking script with you guys, I brought in a haiku. Ooh. And it is as follows. It's the climax, bitch. Caterer gonna die today. Gosh, we hope this works.
I like it.
Yeah, that's good.
Caterer gone die today.
Had to shorten that one up.
Yeah, gone. I like it. Is this actually the last day we have to talk about script?
Gosh, maybe. I mean, we've gone through every scene of our script and like kind of hashed it out and figured out what we want it to be. And I mean, I think we've come out of the other end of each of those much happier with how the script is feeling. And yeah, we had one scene left. Last week, we kind of talked about the first half. This week, we talk about the second half and probably just do a little bit of fiddling behind the scenes. But yeah, I think this is kind of the last day, unless we end up with a writer's room episode. Stay tuned. Last day talking about script.
Sweet. My name's Austin Arpez. I'm an amateur filmmaker, and my movie/TV show recommendation for the week is Righteous Gemstones. The new season has just released. Well, I shouldn't say all of it, but like it's releasing episode by episode.
Cool.
It's interesting so far. Not sure how I feel about it just yet, but we're just at the start. Really funny show. Danny McBride directs and produced it. He also stars in it.
Oh, cool.
It's him and his two siblings and his father who are televangelists, and it's kind of the exploits and politics of being in that position while also being kind of shitty people. So yeah, highly recommend that. It's on HBO. It's good shit. It's on Max, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, Max out.
Max.
Damn, rebrand.
Good recommendation. Yeah, I saw like the first half of the first season, and yeah, man, it's a rootin' tootin' weirdo time.
It's a fun time. Good time.
Absolutely.
My name is Maddie, and today at Target, we got a honeycomb beverage holder. What would you call that?
Like ladle things?
No, like the thing that you put the beverage in, and then they have like the little spout.
Like a serving canister.
No.
A jug.
Like a jug? Yeah.
A jug? A pour your own jug?
Kind of like not necessarily a jug you'd make Kool-Aid in, but like something
That's what
similar.
I mean, though. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's like a jug with a spout.
Are you supposed to put like water? Is it like
it's for like lemonade and stuff.
Lemonade stuff?
Yeah,
okay. Is it like a mixer at all? Like does it no?
It's just a container.
Oh, okay.
But it just has like a sports drink thing, like Gatorade things that have like the little spout. You know?
It's got a little spout.
Oh, I see.
Spout.
Oh, that's cool. Like a nipple.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
just like a nipple.
My name is Maddie.
Yeah.
My name is Maddie, and we went to Target and got a boob jar.
Yeah!
Let me see these boobies.
Yeah, let me see the boob jar. But funny that you say boobies, because the jar with the spout that we're trying to talk about, it is like honeycomb textured, patterned.
Yeah.
And I have honeycomb ice cube trays. So now I have ice cube trays inside the beverage container that looks like a honeycomb.
Ooh.
So it's a pretty bee-themed
household
summer.
Yeah, I would expect it.
Yeah,
now we have a gallon of honey chilling for our next beverage needs.
Yeah, exactly.
Fit on theme.
That's fun.
Yeah. So if you're looking for such an object, such a vague and not properly described object, go to Target because they have them for $5 and they have them in 2 different colors and they have pumpkin ones too.
Oh, they sound sweet.
Yeah, the pumpkin one is pretty cute, but it was like really wide
and kind of small.
Kind of just weird. Yeah.
Wide and small?
Yeah. Versus like...
Which I guess that's what a pumpkin is
right.
Wide and small.
Pretty much.
So I get it. It just wasn't quite what we were looking for.
Yeah.
But that'd be so fun to have seasonal pictures.
Oh, dude, we could get the bee one for summer and then the pumpkin one for fall, and we could do like apple cider in it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun. It's like a seasonal beverage. It's always a seasonal beverage inside.
Yeah.
I mean, like, whatever. But something fun would be like to do something like that.
Yeah, and then we could get in winter, we could get like an icicle that sticks to the ceiling, and then you can walk up and drink out of it like a hamster.
Yeah.
Have like Slurpee in it.
Yeah,
Ooh.
totally.
Or hot chocolate.
That's what
Yeah. All right. Deal. Target.
Back to Target.
Make
Let's do it.
And we're Room Toad Podcast.
Yeah, sponsored by Target.
Yeah.
So what are we doing today?
Well, it sounds like we're talking about the murder.
The murder.
Talk about the murder.
The climax. If you follow the link in the description to our link tree, and you can access our production documents and the script and follow along. Last week, we started to look at scene 7, the dinner, and had a great conversation about kind of what that dinner conversation could look like. But that will all transition into our twist and climax when Zoe the Caterer learns of their cultish ways and meets her violent demise. Ooh. So, today let's just kind of go in broad strokes, talk about kind of what we want that to look like. I know we've had, of course, we've had kind of conversations here and there about what we want this to feel like, but today we kind of flush that out and wrap this up.
Let's do it.
Wrap that willy, yo.
So on the last episode, we talked about the dinner scene and kind of the dynamic between the siblings and Zoe and where that could lead off. We talked a little bit about arguments the siblings inevitably end up having during the dinner, and Zoe kind of giving that peace to them is the one who like helps them come together. Yeah. And now we're talking about the events afterwards. What happens right after that?
Oh yeah, which I love, like, to kind of write a fake ending. Like, here's the climax. Everyone's fighting. Is this family ever going to get along? And then Zoe steps in and is like, hey, guys, let's all just put these feelings aside. And then it's like, wow, it worked.
Yeah.
You're right.
And I totally see us like leading into big air quotes, like an epilogue of like, I'm so glad our problems are solved.
Yeah.
Let's all just relax
Cheers,
a little bit. Yeah, and then we get into what we want to talk about today. So do we want to just kind of like go for it from memory based on our last conversations and just see what we need to edit? Mm-hmm. I mean, just go like script as written, and kind of what we, I think, said last week is like, yeah, Zoe settles the argument. Like everyone kind of comes back to a moment of peace, and then either Zoe excuses herself or like someone requests of her. She steps away from the table to get a bottle of wine for like a celebration or whatever.
Yeah.
On the way back to the table with the wine, she walks past the forbidden door, written as a proper noun in our script. And on the other side of that door, here's a faint clucking. And we've already been introduced to Lucille, the evil demon chicken. And so she opens up the door, giving in to her curiosities and feeling probably like a bit of security since this night is going better than it has, I guess.
It feels like the upswing of things.
Yeah, it's like, things are going fine. Maybe we just
positive vibes.
Let's just have a couple of laughs.
So, sorry, are we in the discussion phase right now? Or
Jump in whenever, yeah.
I wanted to pitch this to you guys. I thought this would be a very fun way to kind of like do a bit of stylizing of this scene. What if like they drug her? Right. Hold on. But like it's not like a fast acting drug or whatever.
Yeah.
Like just imagine that she takes a sip, everything's fine or whatever, everything's cool, and like they're like, oh, the wine's gone, you should go get more wine, whatever, because again, it's supposed to be slow acting.
Sure.
And as she like is like walking in the hallway and is going up to the door, that's where we kind of like turn it into like this hazy thing. You see her just kind of like subtle signs of like something's not right.
Yep.
Right. And like it kind of heightens the chicken in the room, like I like what you were saying with like you hear the clucking, the buck 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 buck. Like what if it just like once like the drugs are setting in, we hear book book, and like we play with that sound, we like make it into like an echo.
Yeah.
Right. And like the light coming from underneath the door, it kind of feels a little bit more like hazy. It's like pushing forward in and out, and that's what's kind of like enticing her.
Yeah.
And just like oof, pulls up the door, and like you just see her kind of stumble a little bit, just like playing it out.
Yep.
I don't know, just something like that. Yeah.
Question. So I like that. Like I like the effect of being druggy.
Mm-hmm.
So since we kind of already have her like tripping, for lack of a better term, the first time she encounters the chicken, would it make sense to just like maybe, I mean, we don't even have to say it, but just like lump it under that like the chicken has powers or something, or
Magic
that like
chicken.
being in like the vicinity of the chicken like makes her weaker or something? Because I feel like them drugging her doesn't feel like necessarily something that they would like have to do.
That's fair.
But since we already like have her kind of losing time and being confused the first time that she encounters the chicken, maybe it's like she hears a weird chicken noise and it's like, things are kind of weird in that general direction, maybe?
Yeah, and I love that effect too. And so it could be like she hears the clucking and it like brings her back to that moment of fear, and then we like kind of get in close to her and you kind of see her like eyes darting back, like kind of like anime style. I mean, maybe not like that crazy, but like she's like, oh, what the fuck? And you hear like, I like the echo slowed bucking.
Yeah.
And I like the pulsing light under the door. Like that's a lot of fun. But my first inkling with actually drugging her is like, it makes me a little nervous about our like climactic kind of chase scene and battle scene. And like, I worry if she's woozy and whatever, it might make that a little less exciting.
Yeah, I kind of want her to be on her game for them to fuck her up, maybe.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, I want a fair fight.
Yeah.
That's valid.
That's the fairest.
I like this. I like this direction though, like that effect.
Throwing this out there as like a like still the idea of like drugging her just to play devil's advocate.
Yeah,
I think that would also give us an opportunity to play a little bit into like the chase scene and like making it feel a little bit more supernatural. I don't know why I like the idea of like not fully knowing if like, is this a real thing or is this just like she's drugged out and like she doesn't like she's just imagining this stuff,
right?
You know what I mean? Like imagine just playing that full demonic like running through the hallways and like is being frantic and is being panicked and like she's like seeing like these like otherworldly things, like maybe it's she's just running into like David
Donnie and Lonnie, and like, but she's seeing them as like this, like
the Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Exactly, exactly. You know, like that'd be so funny if they're just like a Tweedledee, Tweedledum.
I think they should be twins.
Twins.
See, so
that's just like a throwing it out there, not like
totally.
Yeah.
See, and I agree with everything you just said except for her being on drugs.
Okay.
Is that what you were gonna say?
No.
Oh, what were you gonna say?
Well, what I was gonna say is this is our twist. And we are sort of revealing a lot of information that is pertinent to the last like few minutes of our story. And I think it's a little risky to introduce questions at this time where if she's not sure what she's seeing, then the audience doesn't know, okay, well, is that dead guy in the room even real? And it's like, I feel like at this point, we very much need to know that the dead guy's real.
That's a good point.
So I think we should play with the idea, but I think we should be really careful about like bending reality because we need to be very clear about what this story actually is. This is our reveal of, hey, here's our story.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know where to go off of that. But yeah, I get that.
Well, so I mean, yeah, I do still like the idea. How do you feel? Do you think that like the effect that you are envisioning for her, like, do you think that it could be derived from fear / magic chicken? Or, you know,
I feel like it could be. I guess I'm not opposed to like magic chicken. I'd be down for that.
Right.
Since it already kind of gave like supernatural like vibes in like the chicken coop. So yeah, I guess I'd be down for that.
Right on. I like that. I like that as like the chicken is kind of drawing her in.
Yeah.
And it's like she feels like the chosen one at the beginning, but now it's like she's being targeted.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The chicken knows its prey.
Yeah, dude.
God, what if like sorry, this is wild. But like what if like she sees the egg on the hallway, right? And like the dark black egg and it like rolls itself into like the door and like the door slams and like that's what like entices her. That
right?
Not whatever. It's
that'd be fun.
Just
like
kind of throwing that out there as like a weird idea. Like, hey, what's
it
this
does.
sound?
That's just like it.
Yeah, like something like that, where because like that, like the theme of the egg again, where it's like the egg kind of feels like its own like kind of magic force to it, you know?
Totally.
Right.
Yeah,
totally. Yeah, I love the idea of like her own curiosity kind of feeling what ends up as her downfall. Like,
yeah, curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah,
is
and
like
the
kind of her
caterer.
trope. Yeah.
is that the name of one of our episodes?
No.
Oh,
Curiosity killed the caterer.
yeah.
Damn it, it
Maybe
should
that's
be.
what this episode.
I thought it was.
So yeah, I guess, you know, we can kind of come back to that too. She steps away from the table.
Yep.
She finds herself at the door. Something draws her in. And she eventually opens up the door and finds Ronnie, the dead father, like ceremoniously kind of done up. He's got like symbols on, like a little crown of twigs, etc. The black chicken's there. Lucille got a name now, which is fun. And I think, you know, we kind of sit on that like moment of horror from Zoe, and then the siblings step in behind her. And Donnie, at least in the script so far, Donnie kind of breaks that silence.
What does Donnie say?
I think in the script it's, you weren't supposed to see this yet, or something like that.
How does he deliver that line, do you think?
Sexily.
Do you think it's sexy or do you think it's panicky? Like, not like panicky, like, oh no, she knows we're freaks, but panicky's like, fuck, this is not part of the plan.
I can see it being a little bit more like, almost like whiny, like, you weren't supposed to see this yet.
That's fair. I could see that.
I feel like panicky actually makes
Give me an example.
because that wasn't like
Fuck. You weren't supposed to see this yet. This is
was not part of the plan.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Not on the
fuck.
list.
This is supposed to be at 10:15. It is currently 10:10.
Yeah.
Right.
We were going to have one more glass of wine.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's like, God damn it. Instead, we're supposed to do 2 glasses. One can be fine. You know, something like that. I mean, that doesn't have to be all that, but like something panicky.
Right, that's the vibe.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's Donnie.
That does fit him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like
Similar reaction to a cake not arriving on time.
Yeah.
So the siblings show up. Donnie kind of breaks the silence. We had talked a little bit off show, a little bit on show, so maybe let's just air this out again. We had talked about using this battle between Zoe and the siblings as an opportunity for Lonnie and David to prove themselves. Mm-hmm. And so I think in conversation, as a way to do that, we had like Donnie kind of approach Zoe. Zoe gets the better of him, kicks him in the balls or something. Donnie goes down, Zoe goes running, and then Lonnie and David end up catching her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Saving the day.
And saving the day. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think it's still fun having Donnie deliver the fatal blow because, he has been kind of Zoe's anchor through this. And so that betrayal would just be so sweet.
Mm-hmm. What was your question? Was there a question in there?
I guess, do we still feel that that's right? Is there any like ways that we want to adjust or add to that as we're kind of talking about this?
I agree with it. I agree with the direction. Just to throw out something fun we can do with Lonnie, maybe something the way she like takes down Zoe is kind of foreshadowed at some point before the film. Like, so say like she like threw like a knife, like,
sure,
this is just an example, but like she threw like a knife in her back, whatever, and caused her to fall on the ground, like kind of showing that like in like parts of like the beginning, and
she
then
throws a napkin swan at her.
Yeah, she strangles her with a napkin swan. Yeah.
Dude, actually though, like that would be
she could grab a napkin swan and like unfurl it and choke her out.
Oh, like Hannibal.
Oh, what if like Donnie points that out? Like, what if Donnie's like, look at these, one pull, and they're already like gone. Like she grabs one of Lonnie's.
And it's her like shitty swan that ends up
and it saves the day.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Plus, I love the image of like grabbing a swan by the beak and tail, and like rip and pulling it apart,
and then putting it in. Yeah,
that's fun.
Like I literally just imagine like over the head, you see the swan pop open and bring back.
Oh, like all in one. So she brings the swan actually in front of Zoe, and then in one fluid motion undoes it and strangles her.
Yeah,
that's intense.
Yeah.
We could like do that. Okay. And I don't know like how long this wants to be, but like we could do that shot in a little bit of slow-mo. And like as the swan is being unfurled, we could like have the sound of wings.
Oh yeah. That'd be fun.
That is fun.
I remember I talked about this briefly. So brief. What kind of music do you think this is going to be playing during like this scene? Because I imagine orchestral.
Oh yeah, you have mentioned that.
I think I agree.
It depends on how long it is for me.
Well, I guess I mean like the initial just like killing scene, not like the entire. Or maybe
no, I know. That's what I'm saying. Is like so. But you're basically saying like between Zoe getting caught at the room and like the end of the scene. What kind of music?
Yeah,
I think if it's. I don't know. I feel like if it's short, I would say like something tense with big drums. If it's something like kind of drawn out with like some slow-mo shots, like some longer kind of running sequences and actual chase scene. I think orchestral classical music would be a lot of fun. I think, and if we do that, I think I would like to like connect it to the scene. Where it's like if Donnie steps up behind her, this is a little campy, but like if Donnie steps up behind her and says, "Oh fuck, you weren't supposed to see this yet." Okay, step number 8, play the track, and like sets on like a record player, like puts down the needle and something starts to play, and then we get our scene. Like something that kind of connects it would, in my opinion, be fun.
What if like? So I like the idea of like putting like the song on or whatever. Like what if like he takes out the list and like what if there's like a little speech, like a little speech, like saying like okay. Congratulations, Zoe. You have been chosen for a greater purpose.
Yeah.
Just like a very like dumb like card or whatever.
Yeah. And she's like, "What the fuck.
we appreciate your, and like she's like screaming or like being like mad or whatever, and then like he's just like still going. Is like, we appreciate your contribution. Take note that we don't take this or whatever. Just kind of like going dumb like whatever, and then he plays a song. Okay. I don't know what happens.
We're gonna kill you now.
Caterer.
Or like, let's get started.
Yeah.
And then she like dashes by or something. I don't know. I guess like we'd have to play out the scene.
I think that's fun. I think the speech is funny if we can like, kind of work that in.
Yeah.
I'm thinking back to the song just to like, I think kind of simplify it. Potentially it could work for them to like, after the fight, or after like the argument at the dinner table, and they like kind of come back to calm. They're like, you know what? Let's just put on some nice music, have a bottle of wine, and just chill. And like that's when they play the song.
Yeah.
And then like for the fight scene, the song is playing.
Yeah, I see that more.
Yeah, better than let's play music.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the more you can like surprise the audience, the better, I guess. Instead of like explaining, okay, now the twist is about to happen, or like for taking that pause for the music, even like pausing everything and being like, okay, we're getting something ready. Let's put the music on, or let's read off like this thing. Like it just feels like it prepares you for something, which I guess the point is like to have that shock value. So I guess I personally disagree with them, but I'm just one person.
Both those elements kind of draw it out.
Well, they kind of just take away from the like
surprising
her opening the door, seeing the body, and then like instantly having the rest of them be there and like, and
be aggressive.
Yeah, this is bad.
I will say though, what it does do, I agree, it does take that away, but I think what it does do, it gives us a little bit more comedy. Like we're like it gives us like this like big reveal, because like this is like still scary. We see a dead body, then we see some sort of like ritual-esque like room. So like there's still like a heightened fear, and then he's like talking about like killing her or whatever. That's wild. But like the way he presents it, it's like a little card.
Right.
Like that's like so fucking weird. What?
Totally.
Imagine being in that position, taking in that information like that. Just hello, like that's so weird. It's so formal.
I think if we want it to be more comedic, then it makes sense. But I guess I was under the impression that we wanted it to not be quite as comedic in these parts. But if we want to just throw some shit in, I mean, I think that's funny.
That's a fair question. I personally think being comedic in these moments, I feel like it will help stitch our film a little bit better, especially when we like brand it as a comedy. Having those like comedic moments in there as much as possible with the scary and with like the horror. I think that's also like a fun challenge.
Definitely.
But like I agree, it is like a risk. Like I agree with that. I think it's a risk that would be worth taking, but it's still a risk. I see its advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah.
I think in my opinion, it has to be in the little moments. Like I think taking a full beat to like, we're going to make a joke now is like a little bit tricky. But like giving, when Donnie gets up behind her and slits her throat, we have a line for him just before that. And I think like that line can be like you weren't supposed to see that yet.
Like that could be.
Yeah. And like the delivery you have for him saying, you weren't supposed to see this yet. Like, I think that's funny. Like him panicky like that. We have written in. So I think it's just kind of those little moments of like, oh, well, that's kind of silly, but like you still have to kind of keep the heart pumping for this to like have that kind of horrific effect.
I think like if you play him scary panicked in a way, I feel like that could kind of combine
like maniacal.
Like no, you weren't supposed to see this yet. Fuck. It's like you hear the intensity in his voice.
Yeah, I like that.
But like he's concerned not because like she knows that they're trying to kill her. It's because she found out early. Right. Like that's the big like fuck.
And I love that. I love that delivery. But I do worry. I think the speech is funny, but it is that balance that we have to walk of how scary versus funny do we want this particular scene to be?
Like, what if he says like as he like he realizes like as he like goes into his like panic, like fuck, you weren't supposed to see this yet. He's like, okay, stop, resets the situation. Okay, don't panic. Hold on. Rips or like pulls out the list or whatever.
Yeah.
Hello, Zoe. And then like goes on a speech and is like trying to like soothe her while also still like saying like, but you're gonna die, but it's okay,
right?
You just weren't you weren't supposed to find out right now.
It just wasn't supposed to happen yet.
Yeah. Like I think that's funny. I think it's so funny trying to balance this. Like, no, don't worry. It's okay. You are a sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, right.
It's like she's panicking. He's telling her to calm down for panicking about the thing that he's going to do to her.
Right, like, exactly.
That's so silly.
Yeah,
it is. It definitely is.
So I'm kind of for it, but I'm also for the other way too. Like I could see the other way also being just as impactful. Yeah, where we kind of keep those horror beats. I think comedy is the way though.
I think they both need to be true somehow. Like right. I think there needs to be a middle ground between both.
That's why I like pitch like the elevation of his voice, like make her like audibly or not audibly, make her visually frightened of her, like literally shaking, eyes wide, pupils dilated. I mean, not all of it, but you know what I mean? Like afraid of him. Mm-hmm. And then like, it's like that balancing with like Donnie's, don't worry, we're just going to kill you.
Right.
Right. We're not going to torture you or anything like, crazy like that.
And maybe she asks questions like that to like, we go inside her mind. Like, are you going to like just like that? Like, are you going to torture me? And it's like, oh my God, no, that's fucking no, God, Christ. Holy shit. No. We'll make it fast. Like,
but then, how does that lead into a chase scene? Does then he's like, no, we're totally just gonna kill you. It's fine. But like, you better start running or like your time starts now. Like, how do we lead it into a climax that feels like the height of the film?
I like the idea of him like still trying to like soothe her to like get her to calm down by like showing the process, right? She's like, oh, we're just gonna kill you, but don't worry, it's gonna be really fast. Here, like we have like this big knife, and he turns around to like grab like the big knife or whatever, and then like as he like looks over, she's like out of frame, she's gone, and then we pan over and we see her running down the hallway. He's like, God damn it.
Yeah, that's
something like that.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think the suspension of disbelief of her, kind of standing there and kind of letting him kind of run through all of this. Mm-hmm. That's another line to walk of like, okay, how long would you stand there while someone's like, oh, we're totally going to kill you. Like, don't worry.
Right.
I guess I imagine what the situation is like Zoe is in like the inside the room or whatever. And Donnie is standing on the outside. And like the problem is Donnie's in the doorway. She can't just like leave until he's like, hold on, like, no, we're just gonna cut you with this knife, and then walks over, tries to grab it, tries to soothe her or whatever, looks over, knows that she's gone, looks out, sees her running in the hallway.
But Lonnie and David are still there.
Lonnie and David are they there though? Because like we said that they're like officially there? I thought they appear like somewhere in like the doorway or whatever.
It's up to us.
So I mean, like that could. Yeah. I also feel like I'm fighting really hard for this. It's not like meant to be sound like I'm fighting hard. I'm just trying to throw out ideas. Yeah. If you guys have anything, please let me know.
No, yeah, totally. You're good. It's just a big shift from what we've kind of already established, and so that's what we're just kind of trying to sort that out.
That's fair.
Yeah. I personally feel like a lot of the movie or a lot of the film is talk. Mm-hmm. And this is like and this is like the height of it to like, this is horror, this is action, this is like craziness that you were not expecting. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I'm really feeling the desire to like just dive into it and like get away from the comedy for this part of the scene. except for like those little beats, little moments, just to like kind of keep things light and fresh. But yeah, that my main goal going into this is to like get the heart pumping, like kind of do some crazy shit. And so that's why I guess I'm fighting back a little bit on,
that's fine.
Kind of like drawing it out with talk and jokes.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think I agree with you, Austin Swain. Since I can't see who I'm looking at. Especially since the epilogue is funny. It still like ends on a funny note.
And we still have the whole ceremony that we've like made funnier. That's like, I think, the ceremony following this when Zoe's dead and they're kind of like going through the elements of the spell. I think that is a really nice blend
that's
of
what I'm talking about.
Horror and comedy.
For sure.
Right.
Where it's like we kind of go from comedy and then we drop into horror for this and then we kind of settle back into horror comedy and then the epilogue is back to comedy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how I've seen it from kind of a bird's eye perspective up until now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right on. I like Zoe finding the room. Mm-hmm. I like the siblings. I mean, personally, I see all three of them showing up. Mm-hmm. And I like, kind of Donnie's, Donnie having a line here is kind of is the twist. It's like, oh my God, there's some fucked up shit happening in the house. Oh, and the siblings are in on it. Mm-hmm. We're fucked. So I like his line, and I like, your pitch of like having it kind of panicked and like, that kind of brings out his character for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, better than the sexy thing, for sure.
So I like the idea of like, Donnie, I think kind of trying to take care of things himself and like stepping forward. And like Zoe getting the best of him somehow. And then, so we kind of see, Zoe runs off. Donnie is like incapacitated in quotes and has to kind of rely on Lonnie and David. And so like in the script, we have him, get her, something like that, kind of calling out to them to go and get her. And then in the script so far, which I personally think we keep, is she gets to the door, the front door that has been notoriously sticky. Mm-hmm.
That's been like our main joke this whole time, I feel like.
Yeah, totally.
Is that the door sticks.
And so the door sticks and Zoe like audibly exclaims, I mean, in the script, I think it's, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. But like just before she kind of like gets bested by the siblings. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like the door is the winner.
So would Lonnie, let's say we follow this like the paper towel swan trail, would them like getting her, in Donnie's words, be like Lonnie like puts the swan over her head and like gags her with it or something to like get her back to Donnie to kill? Or like how does that
scene play?
Like if Donnie and Lonnie, or if David and Lonnie catch her, why don't they just kill her?
In my mind, it's because Donnie has the knife.
But Donnie's incapacitated. Quotes.
Yeah, I think he's temporarily incapacitated. Like gets kicked in the balls, falls to the ground, shouts out for help. By the time Lonnie and David get to Zoe and like restrain her, Donnie's back on his feet, comes up behind her with the knife.
Kind of like Inception.
When?
And when Cobb is like teaching Ariadne to build the dream. Yeah. And then like, cause she makes a place from memory and Maul shows up.
Yep.
Like
the subconscious
that moment,
attacks her.
Yeah. And then it's like that moment of like, everybody's kind of attacking her, but this one person is like dead set on her and like coming at her. I could kind of see.
Yeah, totally.
But
I see that.
How do you feel?
I could see that.
Yeah.
The one part, and I guess like to kind of wrap that up, like I still am in love with the idea of her dying in the doorway with like the light through the pane glass. I
still like that as well.
Yeah.
Do you like that as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm so fucking excited to shoot that.
Yeah.
I think that'll be nice.
But my one, I guess, question or problem with this structure so far is how much do we show between Zoe running away and getting caught at the door?
I guess that just depends on like the placement of David and Lonnie, because if we have it where she's like running into them, we'd want to shoot a little bit more. If she runs into both of them in the same area, show a little less.
Right.
How much are we Scooby-Dooing it?
Yeah, right. That's the big question. It's tough. I guess in my mind, it's like there's the 3 siblings. Zoe runs away from them. Donnie sends Lonnie and David after her. We get like a sequence of running through the house. Maybe we get like that insert shot of Lonnie grabbing the swan, and then Zoe reaches the door. It sticks. She curses, gets caught.
I don't think we need the insert shot of Lonnie grabbing the swan. I feel like that's already like it's more of like a callback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the reveal is like right there when she untethers.
That's fair, especially if it's in slow-mo.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed with that. So I guess
I like need a floor plan.
I know.
That's what I need to figure
like,
out.
In my mind, the forbidden room is like in between the dining room and the front door. Yeah. And so it's like Lonnie would never have time to go for the swan.
Right. See, and in my mind, it's not. Like, in my mind, if I had like my perfect laid out house to shoot this in, I feel like I would do dining room in the center, like little hallway that leads to the kitchen, and like the forbidden room is like in between there, and then the other direction is to the front door.
Oh, sure.
We could even like simplify it and somewhat talking a little bit backwards, is if like Lonnie and David are just not there, and like then we wouldn't have to explain when she would grab the swan, because it would happen quote unquote off camera. So
if they weren't there, because
so can I kind of throw an idea of like how I can see this playing out?
Yeah.
So like say like Zoe like hits Donnie, incapacitates him, whatever, and like let's say like as he's like stumbling out, he like shouts like "Get her!"
Yeah,
you know, angrily or whatever.
Yep.
She's like running or whatever. She finds like the front door. She's like trying to like twist it, fuck, and then comes over like the swan or something like that.
Yep.
So like it could literally just be from that room, walks down a hallway to the front door.
Yeah.
Keep it short and sweet. And then like Lonnie or David or something like that, we present those two within that like scene.
They ambush her basically.
Right.
I also think, it's kind of like a side note since we're talking about the sticky door, I think it'd be very funny if Zoe repeats exactly what David repeated when he commented about the door earlier.
Oh yeah.
Someone needs to fix this fucking door.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. I think that's
our whole film is a callback.
Yeah.
That's how you make the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm into that. I mean, I think that makes sense, you know, especially if like Donnie, you know, all 3 of them maybe wouldn't leave the kitchen if Zoe is like taking some extra time. Like we kind of have to think about why are they finding the room?
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, why wouldn't they be there?
I could like see like Donnie like just thinking that she got lost and didn't know where to wind.
Right. I better go check on her.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny if like Donnie, when he's like doing his like whining thing, you know, when he sees Zoe, he's like, I told you so many times.
Oh yeah.
What are you doing? I said it. You heard me.
Not to go in this room.
I said it 3 times.
Yeah, that's good because he does a lot.
Yeah,
right.
Not to go in that room.
Yeah.
It feels very childish. Like,
exactly.
Why didn't you listen?
Why didn't you listen to me?
Dude, and it's like it feels like it comes from such a place of care then. Of like, man, I just want what's best for you.
Yeah.
Why'd you gotta go snooping?
I just want what's best for me. Why do you gotta go swooping?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah.
So that works. I could see him alone.
So I can see it in that direction.
I can see
And
that.
then he shouts out, Zoe runs, gets caught by the door. And
I don't know where David plays in.
what if Zoe gets caught at the sticky door, isn't able to get it open until it, and you know, like the suspense builds, like she's looking over her shoulder, the music is rising, like you're not sure where Donnie is, you're not sure if the siblings heard, the door finally pulls open, there's like that moment, and then David's hand slams the door shut, he was kind of the master of the door. You know, he was the first one to open it.
Yeah.
David's hand slams the door shut. In that moment, the swan comes over Zoe's head. Lonnie strangleholds her, pulls her back, and then Donnie shows up with the knife.
I feel like I could see that. And you could even do where David says, like, told you we should have got that fucking door fixed.
Yeah.
Or something.
Or it's a good thing we never got that door fixed.
Right. But yeah. Or yeah, he could say something to Lonnie like, good thing we didn't get this door. I could see the slam. I think that's cool. I think
it's another like moment of hope.
That, or I can see like them saying like I can see why Dad never fixed this door.
Yeah, right.
Easier for killing.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one problem. Logistic problem. If Lonnie has the napkin swan around Zoe's neck, Donnie can't slit her throat.
That's why it's like the gag thing.
It could be a gag thing.
Oh, over the mouth?
Yeah, it could be a gag thing, or it could
That's
literally be a way to like pull her back. Like, so it's not choking her; it's literally like grabbing her.
Right, she could just
pushing
grab her and then like pull, like have it slide off of her neck.
True. I mean,
we need someone to choreograph violence.
Okay.
okay.
I feel like that'd be my job. Yeah.
Because I feel like this is all very fast paced. It's like I feel like it would be kind of a wasted beat if she like unfolds the swan and pulls her back, and then like once she's in her arms, she pulls the swan off and like wraps it around her wrists. Like I think it's like, you got the swan around your neck, the door's closed. Guess what? Here's Donnie, and you're dead.
That's why I could see the mouth thing because she can't scream.
Yeah, so I agree with that. I think the mouth thing works really well, and I just think it's pretty. I think for her to, I see the swan as red. Maybe that's not true. Maybe it's white. Like to see even just like the cloth gag like in the mouth and then the throat slit and the mirror and like the window light. I could see that being really fucking pretty.
This may depend on like color and like how well texture can look on black. But I think a black napkin would be fun.
Yeah.
Because then it's like a death bird. When she unravels it.
Oh yeah. Plus it's like the shadows are capturing Zoe.
Yeah.
And there's, Lucille's black.
Got lots of black symbolism.
It could also play out where like David pushes her into Lonnie. Lonnie then like gags her, gags her, ties her up, then pushes her onto the floor. And then like Donnie walks in and says, "Cheers."
But then she can't be up against the window.
Oh, that's true.
Which is, the only tricky thing. If we really want to get that shot.
Yeah.
I really want to get that shot.
I think it would be really pretty.
I think we got it.
It feels good. So, yeah.
Do we need to talk at all about her finding Ronnie? Or do we all pretty much feel like
I think we eventually need to talk about, and maybe this isn't the conversation for the script, but like set design, what that's going to look like. So maybe, that's like when we start thinking about set design and like kind of making general look and style to it all.
Totally.
We know like the basics that like Ronnie is laying downstairs ceremoniously on some sort of like, I'm assuming like a table or like a coffin or... I'm assuming a
wheelchair.
A wheelchair?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
I guess because he was always being like wheeled up to the table in our original drafts.
I
think we had his desk chair. I think that was the chair we did.
Yep.
Which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I kind of always pictured him on the floor. I don't know why.
Oh, I don't think he would be on the floor.
I think he'd be like on like some sort of like table.
Yeah.
And like
laid out.
Yeah, like laid out.
That's
like
fair.
I imagine like a white like tablecloth covering the table from top to bottom, and then like Ronnie laying on top, and then there's like floral like arrangements all around, various like eggshells like cracked like through like the brush and bristles.
Eggshells are fun
between there. I guess I don't know what else. Like, gosh, I feel like we also need to like. Have we wrote down like this cult's like needs and wants? I feel like we talked about it, but I don't know if we solidified it.
I don't think we really solidified it.
Again, we can talk more about it when we do set design, because maybe that's when like the inspiration starts to come or whatever. But I really do think like figuring out like the rhyme and reason for the cult and just making it silly. Like I just imagine this cult being very silly.
I think they were like egg salesmen or something.
I think they owned an egg farm.
Yeah, like I think they were like egg farmers.
Yeah.
And that was like pretty much their whole thing.
Yeah.
So maybe they were like egg farmers and they started it during like the Great Depression and like eggs were the only things to sustain them.
Yeah.
And so they kind of like
started worshiping them.
Yeah, I kind of took it as like the eggs are like the symbol of life. There's death and rebirth or whatever.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like they're the only things that like sustained us during like this trying time.
Right.
I can see that
silly
totally like that. Like that's
but
so
like
silly.
still like
Grounded in reality.
Yeah, that totally works.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Write that down.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's kind of like I feel like how Ronnie is positioned needs to mirror how the children feel about him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I don't know, I guess him laying out feels very like Snow White to me, or like very like fairy tale to me.
Mm-hmm.
Him sitting in a chair of sort feels like very Norman Batesy, like astute, and him like being on the floor feels like totally dejected.
Totally. Agreed.
So it's kind of
how do we want to display that?
Unless like the floor is like a special like wild idea, like
floor is perfect.
well, I mean, like like say like it's like regular tile, except for like this one like giant area, that's specifically like this like nice marble or whatever or something like whatever. You know what I mean? Like something that's fancier than like all other floors,
right?
You know what we've never asked before. What is this room?
I picture it literally being a closet.
Really?
Yeah, like
I can imagine it like a den.
Or like his office.
I think it's his office.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, or like a den. Like there's like a big desk in it, like some bookshelves. And this is, again, it's totally a set design conversation over here.
Which like that's going to be like a
soon.
Yeah, on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Which, by the way, since we talked a little bit about like hopping off the script, I think a fun thing we should probably do next is actually fully storyboard it. What exactly is our story? Here's how our story is going to be laid out. This is exactly the shots we need to get. And then with that, we develop our shot list.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
fair.
Yeah, I'm really excited to like dive into the storyboarding and like, you know, we dabbled.
Yeah, we talked about the hero shots.
Right.
But now it's like, let's go through a scene and let's map this bitch out.
And that'll be kind of what's next.
God, I gotta work on story. I gotta do a tutorial on like some storyboard creation because like it's all fun and games when like you want them to be silly and like whatever. Right. But like when it's like, okay, well, no, like
I actually need this to be helpful and understandable.
Yeah, you really got to think of it less as like a drawing and more of like a like informational, like if I were to give this to a cameraman, can he achieve my vision?
Right.
Yeah.
I think is what the storyboard needs to be.
Yeah.
So it's like, here's where you are in the room and here's what the camera can see and here's what it should be doing.
Yep. So yeah, I think that's like our next thing. And then we just do a few like video episodes.
Fuck yeah. So yeah, next steps. I mean, so a little bit, you know, as per usual off podcast, we're going to be kind of finalizing the script, you know, kind of putting all these thoughts on paper. And then, you know, yes, we'll be diving into the storyboard. We have a friend who we're excited to bring on the show who has a master's in creative writing, who's been listening to the podcast, read through our script, and, you know, now that we've kind of finalized it and, you know, put our own stank on it, we're excited to bring them on and have some outside opinion and look through it. But yeah, so that's kind of what's next up on the show. And then storyboarding, set designing, and location scouting, casting. We're like getting ready to shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is off to the races now.
It's exciting.
It's very exciting. This is a moment I've been looking forward to for a long time. Once again, follow along in the script and check out our merch store for all your room tone stickers, t-shirts, hoodies, and jazz.
Help support the film. All proceeds go to the making of this short film.
Catch us next week. But
For
first,
more. Bye.
Pause room tone.
Pause room tone.